Women, what's up? Now, this is a women's exclusive, and this is entertainment purposes only. So, listen, y'all, we got to have that talk, and especially for my younger women that's out here, we got to have this talk. I'm 49, so the women that's younger than me, we got to have this talk here. But like I said, I'm just talking to hear myself talk. I'm just rattling off at the mouth. This is entertainment purposes only. But I'm just saying that to say this. Listen, women. Now, I know there's a lot of women out here that's messing with these men that's married or been with a significant other for years and years and this and that. And I'm hearing too many of these stories in person and seeing too many of them on the internet. So today I was talking to someone that I've been knowing basically all my life, And she had came up to me and we got to talking or whatever. Oh, we was laughing. And so we was talking and she said, girl, she said, you still look the same. I said, you think so? She said, you still look the same like you was in high school. I said, well, now she older than me too. So she, like I said, she was a big instrument. She was very vital in my life when I was younger. I said, you think so? She said, yeah. And I said, well, I tell you what, I said, I don't really think that make a difference. I said, because I still ain't got no man, so I don't think that really mean nothing. So we bust out laughing. And so she's a godly woman. So she said, well, everybody ain't meant to be married. And my mother did tell me this before too. But my mother said it a different way. She said I was street material. But she was like, everybody ain't meant to be married. She said, God has some women that he kept single that he wants to himself just to, worship him and obey him. And she said, you might be one of those. And I said, well, I could be. I'm gonna have to read up on that. I said, well, I could be, because it seems like to me the closer I get to God, the farther these men start scatting back. And so we start laughing. And then so she had went ahead and told me about some things that happened to her in her life, which I already knew because, like I said, I've been knowing her all my life. But I never spoke to her about it. I just witnessed, and I just knew what was going on or whatever. And then other people was talking on the street, and then like, when I would go to visit, I would see things or whatever. So she was saying, a lot of times, these men turn out to be nothing. She was like, look at me, how I've been married for 33 years, and you see what happened with me or whatever. And that's the part I don't want to talk about or whatever. But I'm going to skip over that. And I'm going to say this to say this. And I'm going to say that to say this. And I'm going to say this to say that. Now, I don't condone in this. But women, if you gonna go break up somebody's happy home, or you gonna snatch somebody's husband out their houses, you better find out who the breadwinner is. You better find out who making that money for you go snatching. Now, this is just a personal preference. If I was to go snatch somebody's man out their house, I'm gonna ask me two questions: what you do for a living? What she do for a living? Because depending on who do what for a living and who make what much money than the other one, that's the one that's coming up out of there. I ain't finna be messing with him and he riding off her coattail and he making $15 an hour and she the one making $50 an hour and she got these nice cars going and she got these Louis Vuitton purses going and she got this nice clothes and all this nice eating and all this nice living and this affordable housing going. You think I'm going with him? I got a choice in the matter. I'm just saying, y'all gonna break up anyway. You gonna go this way and you gonna go that way because of me. So at this point, I figure I got a choice to make, and I got to find out who's making the most money. And if she making the most money, it's coming up out of there. You stay here. She the one coming. I'm just saying, before y'all mess around and get some stuff on y'all couch that y'all can't get out while the gifts come out. I love you, baby. I love you. I love you. I love you. And then you find out that she the one doing the gift buying. And she don't even know she doing the gift buying. I need her to know she doing the gift buying. That's my personal preference with that. Or you mess around and get a man and you love him and y'all swinging out and he all of a sudden start developing all these symptoms. He got diabetes, he got heart failure, he taking medicine. He got one foot on a banana peel and one foot on the ground and all this mess. Then he stuck on your couch. Now you got another mess on your hands trying to figure out what to do with it. But the other woman was taking care of him because she knew what to do with him and she been with him. But a young woman like you ain't got time to be messing around with no mess. You better, this is my personal preference. You better find out his medical history and you better find out who the breadwinner. Because if it ain't him, it needs to be her. Well, in my case, it's gonna be her. I love you. Well.